Hi, Cancer. This is your homework family reading for all Cancer signs, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, for July. Started making noises. For July 1st through the 15th. Now, let me get my bell out because, I'm bells. Okay, no, we're not working. I have a special connection with bells, period. And I'm realizing the bells, even though I'm a fire sign, technically I'm a Leo, the bells mean more to me when I do the readings. So, that's important. But before we get into everything for July 1st through the 15th for Cancer, I'm going through on a couple of you. I'm just being told, and if I'm being told, then I'm saying it. This month is definitely about communication all the way around. But the reason I'm going there first is because for me personally, I was born with Mercury in Cancer, and my moon is in Cancer. And I was born with Mercury in retrograde. And this is what I'm getting at. Is I'm being reminded to tell some people, depending on what your chart is, a lot of astrologers will tell you that if a planet was born in retrograde, that it's a past life. And it is a past life. But more importantly, what Spirit has taught me is if you were born with a planet in retrograde, and the reason I'm saying this is because we have so many planets that are in retrograde right now. So it may not necessarily be about Mercury itself, but I'm sorry, my other phone's going off. And I just turned it on, so it might have actually a few times it does it really fast, so I apologize. But if you're born with a planet in retrograde, what Spirit explains to me is, first off, you're born with that planet upside down. And you hear me say from time to time that sometimes you're right side up and sometimes you're upside down. Well, when you're born with a planet in retrograde, like I was in this situation, I'm using Mercury as it's going into retrograde here in July. And I'm just using Mercury as a way of explaining it. So Mercury is all about communication. How you communicate outwardly with the world, typically. How you send your emails, your communication, your text messages, anything that deals with communication, including, like your music and things that are inspiring to you, because it's another form of communication. So, documents you sign, all of that. When you're born with a planet such as Mercury in retrograde, you're born with it upside down, which means it overly talks the negative to you. So in communication, like me, I overly hear my inner demon talking the shit to me. And that's because you're born with it upside down. And this is how Spirit explains it to me. You have to learn how to heal it and flip it right side up. And once you flip it right side up, that helps slow, like, in the way of communication. If you're born with Mercury in communication, it helps shut that inner demon's babbling up, because in retrograde it's only talking to you. Okay, now this would go the same for any planet and for what that planet represents in energy. But when you flip it right side up and you start to realize, I do this, so let me tell myself to stop doing this, and over time train yourself to stop doing that, then you're flipping that planet right side up, and you're actually healing part of a past life situation. But while you do that, it starts to create the abundance, the magnification. It picks up like a Jupiter energy, and it becomes manifestation that's coming to you in a positive way. But not until you flip the planet over. And I'm being told that because we are going into Mercury retrograde. And for some of you, this is also how you need to deal with it, simply because it's in retrograde. As well as if you have any planets directly in your chart and you already know about it and they're upside down. So that is what I'm being told. Now, first off, before I get into any of the astrology stuff and the cards and all of that, Spirit gives me, for all Cancer signs, which I found a little, you take it however you need to, because it's shamanic work, more or less, is what I'm being given. And I am being told vision quest. For me as a shaman, I'm always in a vision quest. It's like I never come out of it. It's like the medium energy of the shamanic journey that never seems to end. So for some of you, it's spiritual energy, spiritual connection that's showing you it in the actual physical world, in a vision. It's showing you, like you're seeing through the bullshit. You're seeing through the illusion, is what I'm being told. And then I'm being given a skeleton. But see, it's weird because it's shifting and changing. It's not like a real skeleton. It's like a skeleton that's not fully attached. You know how like all of the bones are attached and everything is attached to the backbone, for the head, and everything attaches to the whole backbone. And I feel like it's shifting. It's not fully attached right. And it makes sense as we get into it, but at first it sounds like it doesn't, because then what they felt in the energies of the skeleton as it's not attached, what Spirit is giving me is the purple flame. Well, the purple flame is the eternal flame. I feel like a lot of Cancer energies right now, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or whatever planets may be in Cancer for you, is really getting to the depths of where is my eternal soul in this? Where's my eternal existence? What is the eternal energy of this? The eternal flame. It's also goes with the number 8, and I am being given the 8. But I'm being given the 8 for everybody, not just for Cancer. And 8 stands for me for abundance. Sorry, I have an itch. It stands for me for abundance. A lot of abundance is coming in the month of July. But 8 also stands for karmic abundance. So that's your free will choice. Are you creating new abundance? Are you creating from the karmic? And then it also speaks of eternity, which is bringing me back to that eternal flame. It's finding the eternal flame within you. It's finding belief within the eternal flame within you, so that you're not creating karmic abundance, is what this really feels like it's talking to me about. I'm also given 1111, which really means this is definitely about manifestation, but this is something new also. But with that, with the skeleton and the eternal flame, I'm also given the lungs. Now, the lungs for me speak of grief for me. It's how we deal with sorrow, how we deal with grief. And what are we holding on to? And in that, what are we holding on to? What are we still frustrated? And what has the grief started to bring into like anger and resentment because of the grief that you haven't let go of, you haven't healed? And right now they're telling me that has to do with the energy that is connecting with the heart chakra and moving outwardly into the world around you, what you're projecting outwardly, because I am being told it's the heart chakra. But I feel like the lungs, the eternal flame, the skeleton is all coming into healing that heart chakra, and how you are or are not projecting your energy, your healing, your truth, your eternal authentic self, and coming into that connection of it with the eternal, not the eternal, well, maybe it is the eternal world, but with eternity, I say all the time, not all the time, but I do say it often, you want to set examples that last lifetimes. Fuck this lifetime. I don't mean it in a bad way, but you want to set examples that last lifetimes. And I feel like this energy is coming into a super eternal flame of healing. And it may be more than just the month of July. This is eclipse season, but I feel like this energy is definitely coming in to dealing with that. The lungs is dealing with getting over grief, getting over sorrow. That's also turned around and accidentally probably created patterns and habits, from anger and resentment and strife that's kept you from healing that sorrow, that grief, in situations. And it's caused patterns that it's probably made your heart chakra and your self-expression not come out quite right. Now, don't forget, Leos, I credit, not Leos, I'm sorry. I'm a Leo. I credit, because I'm a Cancer moon. I credit, when I speak to Cancer signs, that you guys are the most empathic of all. You're extra emotional, and you're the crab. You're both inward and out. You're in your shell, you're out of your shell. I mean, and you really hold it in. You're not, you're nesting, you really want to create, but you're not so good at coming directly forward about a situation. Crabs move side to side when they move. And I feel like this has to do with understanding why you move side to side instead of directly forward. And as you start to realize why you make these changes in your life and why you do these things that you've done and how it does or doesn't serve you anymore, that it's going to help you start to move forward. And I'm also being told that you need to be grounded, because a lot of this time has to do with stability, security, survival in general. Now, when I hit the astrology, let me move my pages over here. I just like to have all of my notes so that I'm not missing anything important. What was that? You want to show me it again? I don't know which ones you hit. You moved too fast. I feel like this is happening to do with relationships or regenerations within the relationships. They tend to highlight notes that I have, and that's one reason why I like to have my notes, because they give me specific words, more or less. Okay, for the month of June, first off, not June, for the month of July, it's like a freaking circus out there, at least for the beginning half. And I'm telling everybody that. It's like a circus out there. At least the first week, I feel like for the first half of the month, it's just go, 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 go. On the go. And the energies are changing. Planets are shifting. You have the eclipse. You have the new moon. You're coming into the other eclipse. You're coming into the full moon. All kinds of stuff. Your Mercury's going retrograde. We're going to have 5 planets in retrograde. There's a lot going on inwardly that's making us shift and change. First off, July 1st. Mars moves into Leo. It's coming out of your sign and going into Leo. Now, don't forget, Leo at this moment, which will be your universal 12th house, is got Mercury in it. It's got Mars in it. It's got Ura in it, or Jera, however you want to pronounce it. So this is sacrifice and commitment. It is your communication. It is your passion, your action, your aggression, your inner warrior, your inner SWAT team, and your sexual energy. Your sacral chakra as well is all in that 12th house, which is your subconscious energy. It's your hidden self. It's your unconscious mind, your karmic depths. It's your self-undoing. It's where you've allowed those bad habits, bad addictions, bad patterns to continue to keep creating over and over again, because you're in denial that they don't serve you anymore. This is also where you deal with your frustrations and where you bury them. This is skeletons in the closet. I was saying skeletons as well. So I feel like you're dealing with some of that. The 12th house also can deal with prison, government officials, government offices. It can deal with suicide situations. It can deal with kidnapping, grief, sorrow, secrets. All of this situations can be part of that universal 12th house. You have sacrifice and commitment there. You have your Mercury there. And you have Mars energy. Your sacral chakra is in there, talking to you about how you feel about yourself. Your sacral chakra is your sexual energy, your emotional energy, your creative energy. It's how you feel. Then mix with the communication of what you're feeding yourself and what are the sacrifice and commitments that you're making to help heal yourself. Okay? But Mercury is not going to stay there. Mercury is only going to be there until I believe the 19th. But it's moved into your universal 12th house. It's going to cross over Mars in that universal 12th house and work its way back to your universal first house, which is yourself, your self-awareness, your physical body, your personality, your appearance, your views of life, your ID, your identification, your image itself. So there's a lot going on just from your 12th to your first house, right off the bat. Okay? And that's starting from the 1st through the 7th, when Mercury goes retrograde. And then it's going to be working its way from the 7th to the 19th back into your first house. But these energies are all being brought to your attention to bring it into what you're going to learn on the second half of the month. Now, you have the solar eclipse on maybe something's supposed to be happening with you come January, or it just happened with you in June. Something important. Because I've thrown January out there, I've thrown June out there. So maybe something is going through a transition from June to January. Just saying. Spirit tends to just throw stuff in my mouth often, and I don't even understand. I was talking to Hill Hippie, the guy I do Otherland Dreams with, the podcast show we do. And we're talking, and he was like, I'm fluent in Michelle, and that was not Michelle. I'm like, yeah, when Spirit starts talking, I don't even have control over my mouth. So it's like that. Anyway, on the 2nd of July, you have a solar eclipse, but you also have the new moon taking place in Cancer in your sign. So you're coming into all of these energies of realizing things that you have to release that aren't serving you, because that goes with any moon. I don't care what anybody says. It goes with any moon. But it's about being able to start putting into a momentum, a new change, a new goal, a new direction, a new beginning, a new pathway, and a new decision. Because I'm being told in Spirit over and over again, it's not really in the astrology, but it's one of my notes that I have in astrology that stands for the symbol for the yod. And they're not saying that the yod is there, but they're saying that it's being pointed a new pathway for a new decision. Okay, so you're going to be seeing this come up as you hit the solar eclipse and the new moon in Cancer. Now, you also have the sun there. So this is illuminating your self-awareness in all levels, inside and out. Okay, of all directions. Again, they are bringing up partnerships, relationships, and regeneration cycles, is what Spirit is telling me. So you're going to be seeing this over the first part of the month. Situations that are changing, that are being brought to your awareness, your awareness, and it's going to be affecting your image, your identification, how you are self-aware of what's going on in your life and what decisions you want to make. Okay, you also have Venus moving into Cancer, your first house again, on the 3rd. So the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, just, like I said, feels like a circus. Just like, ooh, or like a juggling act, is what I really feel like. Which is bringing the sensitivity in. Sensitivity can go good or bad. It really depends on where you take it. And like I said, I feel they're saying transformation of healing right now is what you're going to be seeing a lot. And sometimes healing doesn't feel like it's healing. Just saying. Sometimes healing doesn't feel like it's healing, because sometimes healing is making you deal with it. Sometimes healing is making you see it. See the truth so that the healing can then start to be made. Where was that? You'll also be acknowledging situations in the outer world that are going on with the decisions you make within your third eye or coming from that third eye and how you communicate it. Again, probably taking you right back to the partnerships, the relationships, the regeneration of them and how that transformation and healing is being made. That's what I'm being given. But Venus is not just positive or negative, and Venus is not love. I don't care what nobody tells you. It is not love. That would be more of Jura or Yura. That would be sacrifice and commitment. And that right now is in your 12th house. Okay? Venus is sensitivities. It's your sensitivities of all kinds. From how you see, you smell, you hear, you feel. When you put your hand in a hot oven cooking cookies at 365 degrees and you grab that shit without a oven mitt and you burn the shit out of yourself, that is Venus telling you that shit hurts. If you're feeling ooey gooey and soft and chewy because you're all happy in a brand new relationship, that's also Venus. Venus tells you how to communicate what you feel, what your sensitivities are. She tells you what you love, she tells you what you hate. In your first house, you have the sun getting ready. It's still going to be there for a little bit, but you have the sun there, you have the eclipse taking place there, you have Mercury trying to move back by the end of the month, you have Venus that's there. You're oversensitive right now in your self-awareness, but that's a healing. It's helping you to know the truth about yourself, why the crab goes side to side. And if that's what you really want it to be doing. All right. With that being said, Mercury does go retrograde again on the 7th. And I am being told, for everybody, 7/7. July 7th is going to be a powerful day. It can very much be a day that will, I don't want to say make or break, but set the decision of the new path. And that's the day Mercury goes retrograde, still in Leo. That is your universal 12th house. Now, there is just so much, let me put this in the right way. There is so much going on that I cannot honestly be fair and break it down in this video. You have a majority of it going on in your conscious actions, in your self-motivation, in your action-oriented self, your self-assertiveness, and your extrovert, your material world, your professional world, your top priorities of life, these other relationships, and your outer communication. This is definitely dealing with your ascension and your descension. But you do also have situations that are definitely taking place right smack dab in between your 4th and 5th house. 4th house. 5th house. A lot's going on in your 4th and 5th house. And 4th, 5th, and 7th house. So let me just tell you. 4th house for you is 1, 2, 3, 4. Is Libra. Libra has Haumea, make, and Palace in it. Strategic thinking right now. Strategic thinking, the lotus flower, and your collective consciousness is trying to figure out what the fuck is out of balance in your 4th house. This is speaking of the home. This is the home of what's going on in your life, the family members of the home. But this is also now and what and how you were as a child. This is also your family, your land. This is your personal foundations. This is the roots that created you and made you what you are. This is your inner emotional security. This is your upbringing. This is the true, real self of who and what you are. And you're really evaluating shit. You're really going through strategic thinking and like a Virgo, and is reorganizing your inner truths and figuring out what those truths are and what is coming out of that universal 12th house, and what's not good for you anymore, and what you need to change, and what are the karmic roots of how you are and why you're the way you are, and how we change it, and why see, this is what happens when spirit starts talking, and why you start moving like the crab side to side instead of just going forward. This is all about getting to the roots of you. That's also why they're giving you the heart chakra, because this is the roots of you. Figuring out what's best for you. Understanding the truths of what you're not seeing. Coming to the true inner self and the emotional security that goes with that. And how do you create that? Then you also have a lot of it going on in your 5th house, which is your children, your creativity. Your 5th house is your pursuit of pleasure. It is how lovers are created. It is your personal interests. It is your sports, your hobbies, your gambling. It is teaching drama. It is creative expression in general. It's also dating, relationships, sex. It is also dealing with just in general, how do you enjoy life? How do you enjoy life? And for you, this is taking place in Scorpio. So this is a fucking rebirth. You're rebirthing what is your creative expression. From depths of who and what you are. You're rebirthing what you enjoy about life and what you no longer enjoy about life. How to create it to be so is basically what I'm seeing. And then obviously the next one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 is your 7th house is your relationships, your business partners, your business contracts. It's your relationships, your marriages, your divorces, your separations, your lawsuits, your open enemies. If you care about it, even if you don't want to, if you care about it, it's a relationship. And I say to everybody, no matter what you care about, you have a relationship with. Even if you don't want to. And then the stuff that you don't even realize. Everybody has a relationship with their money. When you have no money, you know about that relationship. When you have no lover in your life, you know about it from either being lonely or feeling like you're being liberated. It's one of the two. Okay, and when you have no car, you feel like you have trouble getting places. I mean, so anything you care about, you have a relationship with. You are evaluating these relationships, seeing how they serve you, seeing how they don't, seeing what your hidden secrets of that universal 12th house are telling you about the patterns that you've created that don't serve you, and what needs to be changed, what needs to be honored, what needs to be acknowledged, what needs to be liberated, what is the truth, what is the addictions, what is the patterns, and see that spirit, they just keep going on. All of these things that either serve you or don't. Where are you in denial of that? And how is that changing your self-awareness? How is that changing your self-identity and what you're creating? Taking you right back to the very root of who and what you are, the pursuit of your pleasure, and what are these relationships doing in your life? All right, with that being said, are we really going here? No, it's just you're shiny and pretty. Okay. I had to do another reading for Leo because I was being drawn to it, and I wasn't sure if I'm being drawn to this deck because it's just shiny and pretty, or if I was being drawn to it, so I had to pick it up to check. I had to do a second reading for Leo though because I'm not feeling it's not that I'm not feeling it. It's that deck I haven't finished preparing for my notes. And I was like, I'm not trying to use it until I'm ready for it. And Spirit was like, I don't care. So it goes like that. All right. What does Cancer need to know? What does Cancer need to know for July 1st through the 15th? What do they need to know? Where are they? What's the foundation? All three? All three? All right, yeah, it's a sandwich. I call it a sandwich when the three of them come together. All right, you are getting the attraction of opposites. This is my I Ching deck. So this is telling you what the positive and the negative are that are coming together and what have created the energy, more or less. The attraction of the opposites. It speaks to you about seduction, temptation, what word was I trying to say? A passionate endeavor, meeting halfway, coupling, sexual union. This is all about to empower and to penetrate. This speaks to us of creative authority, strengthen, inspire, transformation of death. The transformational change, life, death, rebirth. This is adult coming into a higher energy, but this is also the gentle wood or the wind. This is penetrating, dispersing, and influencing. The attraction of the opposites. Next is 22, which is grace. This is adornment, bringing out the beauty, elegance, the other as a reflection of the inner vanity, charisma, and self-expression. It speaks to you of keeping still, manifesting, meditating. This is to limit so that you can radiate. This is also speaking to you of the enlightenment, clarification, and intelligence. I'll show it to you again. And then this is like the three of them is coming in at once right now, more or less. This is the energies you should be feeling as you approach July, or at least are coming into the beginning of July. Holding it together, union, cooperation, solitary, membership, teamwork, participation, and making a choice. This is all about to risk and then to give it away. This is the abysmal. This is facing the danger. This is emotional difficulties. This is the abstracting energies. This is the fetal waters of the north. And when I say fetal waters of the north, this would be like if you put a plant in the ground and you're planting a new seed. This would be the womb itself. So it hasn't been birthed yet. This is the preparation of the new birthing, but it's coming from facing danger. It's coming from the emotional difficulty in overcoming that. This is, like I said, the belly, the womb. This is receptive energy, yielding, supporting, devotional, and it is intuitive. All right, so this is basically what we're getting from the first three. You're learning to empower and penetrate the energy. This is the attraction of the opposite. Then you are also getting the grace, which sounds like it's about finding yourself within the situation. This is to limit so that you can radiate it. Stop, pull back, meditate, take some time for yourself. And this is holding it together so that you can then bring the risk out, birth it, and give it away to the world and become what is next. So this is what they're telling you. Is what you're seeing as you approach July, or right here in the beginning of July. Now, yes. What does Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Cancer signs need to know? What's coming at them? Okay, I'm not sorry, but I'm not trusting that. I was moving and weird shit was happening. So, if that's what you want, please give me it again. So, what does Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Cancer signs need to know? What's incoming? What is this energy about for July 1st through the 15th? Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. What is this energy about? Air and the sun. Air and the sun. This is kind of going with the flow. This is going with the flow. For me, that's what air energy is. It's typically going with the flow. It's also like the wind chime. Allowing it to go, but allowing to know all energies are shifting and moving and moving with you and going with the flow. Allowing your going with the flow to allow you to shine and illuminate, as well as bring up that extra energy to that crown chakra. So the sun Hello, the sun's still in Cancer. You have the you have the sun still in Cancer. You have the eclipse taking place, the solar eclipse taking place in your self-awareness, coming into your crown, coming into a new power. But you have to go with the flow. You have to go with the flow. You have to realize that this is shifting and changing energy. There's something else here. What else does Cancer need to know for right now through the Virgo? I call Virgo picking apart. It's Virgo is a virgin, but I call it picking apart. It's the organizer. It's the finger pointer. It organizes everything and sifts through all of the details. Balance. And what were we just saying? How you find harmony and balance is by where it's not, and this happens to be your universal fourth house. This happens to be where you're talking about the roots of who and what you are. So this is telling you, you are definitely dealing with that area. You're finding balance for the home, but also for the home of who and what you are. You can't move. You're going to have the most healthiest life if you're healthy. I mean, let's be real. Health is wealth. However you want to place it. And this is coming in, Libra coming into, the energies of that universal fourth house. You have a lot of illumination going on there. The very first card's out, and I didn't even get to where I asked for the challenge. They already knew. Is the Seven of Pentacles. Now, you may already be feeling this energy, because like I said, I did not ask. But Spirit typically already knows what I'm going to ask. So it may be something that you've been working on, you're about to be working on, or you're working through. But this is the challenge. This is for you to overcome for yourself. This is Saturn in Taurus. Taurus is like, I like to use Taurus energy as how we create our heaven. Taurus wants heaven on earth. Taurus wants us to enjoy. Taurus wants us to have the abundance. Taurus wants us to feel sexual about ourselves. Taurus wants us to feel good. It wants to have all the best things. But Saturn, being in Taurus, as the card says, is about what are the rules and the walls of boundaries. And I need to have limitations here. And I'm picking it apart. And in a form, you're spoiling the heaven. Okay? Because this is saying little gain. Feeling set back. Spoiled vine. Meaning like what you're growing feels like it's already been spoiled. They're saying this has to do with a growth on a spiritual level for you. Not maybe it's spiritual is what I call it whenever we're doing soulful work. They're messing with my crown right now. So this is helping you feel better about yourself, but in a knowing way, helping you rise to a higher you. Little gain, setback, spoiled vine, questioning what you do. That's why they were messing with my crown. Like I said, this is the challenge. This is get right out of your head. You're in your head too much. Acknowledge what is good for you. Acknowledge what is not. And do what you need to do. You can go side to side however much you want. You know when it's little gain. You know when you're being set back. You know what is going on with you in your emotions and the truth and the people and the relationships is a spoiled vine. Get out of your head. You know what you got to do. Because apparently there has been some sleepless ass nights. There has been a lot of emotions here. And let me help you understand. A lot of people just call this the sleepless nights. This is the Nine of Swords. But this is Mars, Uranus, Pluto, Neptune, and Gemini. That's what all these planets are in this area. Over freaking thinking in your head. Uranus is independence, individuality, uniqueness, freedom. Where is that not serving? Where are you not getting that? In Taurus right now, it's talking to your self-worth, your self-value, your self-esteem. Pluto is your spiritual energy in Capricorn. What is your foundations that you're creating right now? And what is your foundations that you're creating right now? And what needs to be put to rest? Let it die, because Pluto is death, decay, and destruction for renewal, rebirth, and regeneration. What are you not regenerating? You. What part of you in your independence and your creative magic, which is Neptune, are you not regenerating? Because what are you holding on to that's making you have these sleepless nights? That's making you stay in your head? That's going against everything you care about? This is what you need to get rid of, because the challenge is the Lovers. These two are just getting you to understand what the challenge is about. The challenge is the Lovers. And this can go two ways. This can be, renewing energy. This can be nourishment. It can be natural. It can be fertility. But it can also be fertility of the world, rebirthing into the world, rebirthing of yourself. This could be a relationship rebirthing, but it's a challenge. The Lovers is a challenge. Is this a healthy Lovers relationship? Okay? Is this light and dark make whole? Are you finding the wholeness within the relationship? Because if you're not finding the wholeness within the relationship with yourself or a relationship outwardly, something's wrong. Okay? That's basically what I got for you. Is there anything else that Cancer needs to know about this? Yes? No. But the reason I'm holding it out that way is this is a black and white deck. And the reason I like the black and white deck is because Spirit tends to put colors on stuff for me. And what they're doing is all of these hands and all of these knives right now on the outside of the deck, they're turning them green, which is saying this is growth within the swords. The swords is your head. Growth within your head. Growth within your crown. Growth within your thinking. Growth within your communication. Clarity. So they're talking from the outside of the deck right now. Anything else that Cancer needs to know about? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Cancer signs. Just from the 1st through the 15th. What else? Forget it being a challenge. Is there anything else that they need to know? Anything else that they need to know? There's something here. Am I asking the wrong question? The Princess of Swords. This is just something you need to know. It's not necessarily a challenge, but it may be, depending on how you take it. This is devotion. This is wisdom. This is Athena. This is strategic thinking. In astrology, that's taking place inside of Libra, home. The roots of what created you to be who you are. This is your true self. This is finding security within yourself. So this could be a challenge. This could also just be the truth. This is finding devotion within yourself, the Princess of Swords. And I'm getting green all over this. So this is finding growth for yourself. But this is also, they're telling me you have the 3 of Cups, which is also, Mercury and Cancer, which is what you're leading back to. Because Mercury is leading back to Cancer after the 19th while it's in retrograde. This is talking about all that communication, the celebrations. This is leading you back to the celebrations with the right people and everything that you want to have in your life. But they are reminding you, King of Swords. This is summon the transformation, summon the transformation itself, the leadership in a forceful way of yourself is what I really feel like this is. But this could be a man coming into your life or a specific Libra or Gemini. This is enthusiastic energy. It is fire and air also. But I'm also being told Libra and Gemini. So this is, it's swords. It's air thinking. This may just deal with a fire sign in general and air signs in general, according to the way I've wrote myself these notes. And I'm feeling like this is a man, or at least someone you look up to, because I can't take my eyes off of his eyes. Okay? And like I said, it's transforming summoning the transformation. This is a leadership and a forceful way of doing it. It's the King of Swords. It's enthusiastic. It's creating a positive change, but also not taking no shit. So I feel like you've been given a lot, but like I said, I'm really being told, the green energy over and over again, and that deals with the heart chakra as well, but it also deals with growth, because typically when I'm being given green, this has to do with growth and psychic growth. Nope, but yes. Forgiveness. Trusting yourself is often harder than trusting others. Don't worry if you get this wrong. The consequences will not be as bad as you think. Yes or no? Amazement. You have worked hard to get everything just the way it is right now. Trust and enjoy this moment. Everything is as it should be. So this is definitely a healing. You're working hard on creating what you want. It's coming to be, but it's not quite ready, is what I feel. Like you're still figuring it all out. Yes. Nope. Yes. Is there something else here? Cancer. Sun, Moon, Rising. Venus. Trust. Don't worry. I'm sorry. That was not even there. Not at all. Maybe I'm just supposed to tell you not to worry again. Trust. Don't trust don't trust what you are being told. There is more to the situation. The answer lies within the finer details, which are not being shared with you just yet. So like I said, take time, really work on that growth, that inner chakra of that heart. I mean, the heart and crown. Really, I feel like you might even want to go get Reiki work done on the heart and crown, because I feel like you're definitely moving up, and I feel you. So what is it? What am I